Great. Good evening. Welcome to the Select Board meeting of Thursday, June 17th, 2021. It's 7:01. Our first item, we have a vote to approve the amendment to conservation restriction from David Calcagni and Elizabeth Mort Calcagni. How do I pronounce that?
You got it right.
You got it right.
You got it right.
To the Bolton Conservation Trust, Inc. in the town of Bolton for the property located at 225 Old Bay Road. That's the corner of Wattaquatic. So we have Rebecca Longval, our conservation agent, to talk about this item. Good evening, Rebecca.
Hi, good evening. How are you all?
Good, Rebecca. Yourself?
Good. Excited that we have these two items on the agenda tonight. So the first item, as Jonathan just provided a great introduction to, is simply an amendment. It's a conservation restriction that currently exists over the property at the corner of Old Bay and Wattaquatic Hill Road. Is known as the Mosquito or the number 18 conservation restriction. And what the property owner now is looking to do is actually remove a building envelope that was allowed originally with the conservation restriction, which ultimately results in more of that parcel being put into the restriction or under the restriction. So at this time, we're respectfully asking if the Board of Selectmen would support that amendment. And from there, the trust also supports this amendment. And I believe Bert is on the call representing the trust. And then we would be able to move forward if the Board of Selectmen, or excuse me, the Select Board are in favor this evening.
Works for me.
Yeah, this is a beautiful farm, and it's great to see that the owners want to preserve that beauty into forever into the future. So I think it's wonderful. Bert, did you want to say anything? Guess not.
Okay, well then, hearing nothing else, I will make a motion that we vote to approve the amendment to the conservation restriction from David C. Calcagni and Elizabeth Mort Calcagni to the Bolton Conservation Trust, Inc. in the town of Bolton for the property located at 225 Old Bay Road.
I'll second that.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any against?
Roll call, Sikansky,
Aye.
Keep,
Aye.
Wysocki.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So Rebecca's going to stay with us, and we have a request for support for acceptance of a 3.99 acre parcel located at 2.D-15 with frontage along Hudson Road, Route 85, as part of Massachusetts Land Tax Credit Program, land donation from Deborah Bonazzoli, an old Bolton family. I think, Rebecca, this parcel links into the 100 acres that was put aside for Century Mill and a few other parcels.
That is correct.
Rebecca,
So this is for me, this is really interesting because Century Mill hasn't created their trail system yet. I don't know when that's going to happen, but one day you'll be able to walk from Century Mill to, is it Danforth Falls? What are the falls over there?
Yes, that is correct in Hudson, Danforth Falls.
Yep. So I'll let you take it away. Sorry about that.
All right, Rebecca, I had a couple of questions. Can you just walk me through this land grant tax credit program? Because I think it's the first time we've run into it.
Mhm.
Sure, I will do my best. So it is actually termed the Commonwealth Conservation Land Tax Credit. And I do have a cheat sheet, that's why I'm looking down, so I apologize, I'm not trying to be rude.
Is this the first time we've run into it?
It's the first time we have run into it as far as my knowledge base goes. And as far as my records give me that information, I can't confirm in the past
No, I
when
just,
this was
that's fine.
originally created. Yeah,
I
okay.
just seemed unfamiliar. I was wondering if it had ever come up before. So that's fine.
Yes. And something about this, so it is offered through the Office of Energy and Environmental Affairs. And this program basically incentivizes landowners and rewards them for donating land, and then allows them to have a tax credit of up to $75,000 for that donation. So that transaction occurs at the state level. And it also, the return that they get obviously is related to the assessed value of their land. So they have an assessment. So there's a 3-step process in the application. This is step 1, the application to be qualified to apply. That's what Ms. Bonazzoli is asking for a sign off on now, so that the town would be saying it has to be a town or a specific nonprofit that holds the property or the conservation restriction. In this case, it's a fee or a fee donation, meaning that the land is just being donated. There's no conservation restriction to be held on top of the land. And from there has to be specific natural resources. It's a competitive program, and it's also 2 years out in their funding cycle. There is a bill going through right now to try and increase the amount that's allocated to this program, but they're still out a couple of years. So again, that's why the ask is for interest. In that 3-step application process, you send in the application. If the application in the land qualifies, EEA gives that answer and information to the applicant and the holder, which would hopefully be the town. And then you go through the final step of actually completing that process so that there's a return to the landowner. And then of course, the land being given to the town.
And what's given to the landowner comes out of the state bank account.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep, of course.
Sounds interesting.
Yeah, no, I support this. I think if you're familiar with the site, it has a stream going through it. Most of it's a floodplain area.
Yes.
Not the best place to build a house. You need a bridge, and I think it'd be very tough. So it's a good piece of land to preserve as open space wetlands.
I do have a question. Has anything been done to check the parcel or the property for any hazardous materials or waste materials or anything along those lines where the town could potentially be accepting a liability?
Not at this time, no. And again, because it's so early in the application saying that the town would be interested in this, the property owner also has to do specific assessments. I don't know if that hazardous site, I'm going to generalize and say hazardous site versus hazardous material assessment has to be done in step 2 of this program.
Right.
But there is a title search that has to be done. You have to have a survey of the property, and that's on the landowner, currently not on the town to conduct.
Okay.
So if there was a question, that could certainly be something that we could raise as part of it. And then something that I did want to bring up as well. So the application draft that has been sent to the town, Conservation Commission was comfortable with it. They voted in favor of it at their last meeting on Tuesday because of the natural resources there, the connectivity to both the Hudson open space and our current open space. But under the donation restrictions that the property owner now, so Mrs. Bonazzoli, would like to see, is there 4 specific items. One is what we see typical on conservation land, that it shall remain in a natural, scenic, and undeveloped condition to be used for wildlife preservation and conservation. Number 2 is the public shall not have access to this property. Number 3, the property shall be added to the abutting 29 acres, which was donated previously. And entitled the Meadowbrook Wildlife Conservation Area. And then number 4, as with the previous 29 acres, there will be no hunting on these additional 13.99 acres. So these are things I do want the board to be aware of, so that if there is any concerns or issues, I can bring those up with the property owner now before submittal or before the second phase begins, so that it's clear going forward what's expected on both sides.
Rebecca, I think one of the things I heard just now was that the public is not going to be allowed on the land. Is that the case with the existing,
With
most
the,
recently available land?
that is correct. So with the 29 acres, that was not allowed. It doesn't allow for public access. It's to be kept as a wildlife conservation area or wildlife refuge. However, the difference with that one is it directly abuts the Century Mill Estates conservation property. So we saw it or the commission rather saw it as buffering an area that has public access. And we don't necessarily want a trail through every single acre of a conservation property. But this one does have frontage along Hudson Road. So I could see value either way.
But the two pieces would be consistent in that regard.
Correct. That is what the ask is at this time.
Okay.
I don't have a problem with that. And if at some point in time they need to check for hazardous materials along the way,
Yeah.
I'm happy to support this now.
Good. Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion that we provide support for the acceptance of a 13.99 acre parcel located at 2.D-15 with frontage along Hudson Road, Route 85 as part of the Massachusetts Land Tax Credit Program land donation from Deborah Bonazzoli.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
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 Roll call, Sikansky,
Aye.
Keep,
Aye.
Waisaki.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thanks, Rebecca.
Thank you very
Thank you,
much.
Rebecca.
Wonderful meeting.
You have a nice evening.
Thank you.
Next, we have Nikki McGatchy from the Bolton Access Television for release of 2021 Q1 Comcast funds in the amount of $24,527.21.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, Nikki.
How are you guys?
Good.
So these are our Q1 funds from this year, 2021. So it's pretty standard stuff.
How are these numbers fluctuating? This one's a little lower than
It
last
is.
time.
We're seeing a steady decrease by about 3% for each quarter. From cable cutting is the biggest piece of the drop. This one is a little bit lower because we actually had a little bit of overpayment from the previous quarter, and so this makes up for that. So we're squared away there. But yeah, overall we're seeing about a 3% decrease in time with our Comcast funding.
Okay. All right, then I will make a motion that we approve the request from Bolton Access Television for the release of 2021 Q1 Comcast funds in the amount of $24,527.21.
Second.
Roll call.
All those in favor
Sikansky.
say aye.
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 Roll call, Sikansky,
Aye.
Keep,
Aye.
Waisaki.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nikki. Have a good
Thanks,
evening.
Nikki.
Have a good meeting.
Thank you, Nikki.
Bye-bye.
So we have Doug Story with us with a request for approval of a 17-inch by 17-inch sign to be placed at 89 Spectacle Hill Road for a 2-story building. Hi, Doug.
Doug, how are you?
Good. Looks like a nice sign.
Doug, you have to unmute yourself.
Hello,
Hello.
There we go.
here's my sign.
That's for the Amazon drivers.
Yeah, I mean, basically, I have a circular driveway and a lot of people think the left side of my driveway is my neighbor. And I've had a small, like, just piece of wood saying 89 on it for a while, but thought I should make it a little bit more prominent. And I was aware of the sign bylaw after sitting in on one of the other meetings, so made sure that it did not exceed 2 square feet.
Okay. Sounds good to me.
Yep,
I mean, I
sounds good.
have no problems with it. Any of you gentlemen?
Nope, looks good. It looks like a rotary with a route number.
Yeah, you got a rotary.
Well,
here.
I hate to be that way, but I have a circular driveway and it's clockwise. You go clockwise. You don't go up.
Oh, there you go. That's right.
It's important to me that people go the right way.
There you go.
There you go.
Good. All right, then I will make a motion that we approve the request for a 17 by 17 inch sign to be placed at 89 Spectacle Hill Road for 2-story buildings.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Roll call, Sikansky,
Aye.
Keep,
Aye.
Waisaki.
Aye.
Thank you.
And Doug's going to stay with us for an update on a possible electronic voting system for town meeting.
Thank you. So we started looking at this about a month ago, or maybe a little longer ago. Ninochka Rogers brought it to our attention because she is also involved with West Boylston, and they had purchased some electronic voting counters through the CARE Act, which we also have the opportunity to take advantage of. And I am, as moderator, I'm on a board, sounding board, so to speak, of moderators, and there's a lot of talk about it. Many towns have done it recently. We actually have had 2 presentations by 2 different companies, and there's a group of us that have been involved with this, including the town clerk, Pam Powell, and Ninochka, Jenny Jacobson, Jen Marquis, and myself. They were both good presentations. We definitely preferred one over the other as being much easier, and just having a simple yes, no, easy to project on the screen what the counts are. One of the things I like as moderator is that you don't need to, if you adopt having this equipment, you don't need to use it on every vote. There's no requirement that you have to all of a sudden go all in with the electronic counters. The point is that when people come to town meeting, they be issued one. And on any votes that require it, we're able to use them, and we're able to get an accurate count through the equipment. I personally am of the opinion that we should continue to have voice votes for, many of our articles, most of which, many of which pass unanimously, but you can use both, and a lot of towns have done that. It could be, the equipment could be used for other functions as well, including staff meetings, town elections, community groups. So once we own it, we could use it in other ways too. It's kind of a very simple way to do quick counts among a group. We've looked at the proposal we looked at is for 300 devices. Our town meetings have been most often under 300 in the last 15, 20 years. In the last 25 years, I would say we've only had 2 that have exceeded that. One would be probably the turf field, and the second would be way back when with the pig farm. In the event that you have it, an extremely contentious issue, you can rent additional devices and have those on hand. If we did not have enough devices for the number of people at the meeting, then we wouldn't use them. It wouldn't be appropriate. We, as a group, we met today, and we do recommend moving forward with this. It does come in at a price under $10,000. And we'd like to do it, with time, to have plenty of time to work out the training and the practice use of the equipment for, let's say, in the event there was a town meeting in the fall. So, we should do it sooner than later. We're going to continue to meet. We do have quite a few questions that we want to resolve in terms of just the management of the system. And we had a list of questions we put together today to ask the company that gave us the proposal that we were most interested in. We're going to follow up on that. We'll meet again and we'll report back to you. But I would say we feel very favorable about it. But in the event that we decide to do this, we're not saying we'll never have a voice vote again in Bolton. I would feel very strongly that we will continue to do that. Any questions?
Yeah,
No, it
so
sounds-
I'd love to see a unit, either in your hand or if we could get a sample at town hall just to look at.
I'm sure we could get one to pass around, you know.
And then, so they're wireless, and what are their batteries? Like, how are they charged?
They are wireless. They operate on a radio frequency. They're not anything that can be hacked into or that anybody could bring a different device that would work. They would all have to be programmed for our meeting. This is not going to be easy to see, but there's a little picture of it. It looks almost like a little calculator or something with a couple of buttons on it. And they do have batteries that can be recharged. They would all be charged in advance. I should add that we've done a lot of research with other towns, both through the moderator group and through Pam and Inochka reaching out to other towns. And across the board, we've heard very positive results from using this particular product. We've heard good results. Very few malfunctions. One town had a malfunction early on in its first use, and it was more of a programming issue. They resolved it within 15 minutes and had no problems going forward. So no indication that anybody's ever had any incident where the unit's batteries run out during the meeting.
Yep.
Would be great to see a demonstration maybe at some point.
Yeah, we could set that up. I don't know if you want to do that during a selectmen's meeting or sometime during the week.
Maybe a selectmen's meeting or a public meeting, just to present it to a larger group. That'd be interesting. Get feedback. Great.
Sounds good.
Great.
Sounds
Thanks,
very
Doug.
encouraging.
No,
It sounds like the
great.
bugs are worked out. And my question was going to be around Wi-Fi, but you told me that that's irrelevant. So it sounds very promising.
And I would say that both Stowe and Lancaster use them, so any of us can talk to any of our, peers in those towns and ask their input on that. And they use this particular brand as well. Again, everything I've heard has been pretty favorable, very favorable. And, I wasn't a big proponent, I wasn't pushing this by any means, but it seems to me that if we can do it and certainly by taking advantage of this CARE Act that exists now, so that it doesn't actually cost our budget anything, and have them available for when they're needed. I mean, I can't think of very many votes. Well, in the last few years, we've only had to count a couple of votes. But the idea would be when you do have to count a vote, you use this device,
Right.
and instead of spending 15 or 20 minutes or a half hour, you count it within, 2 minutes.
Exactly. Instead of holding up the little things, this is, it'll make things more efficient for those kind of things as well.
Mhm.
So do you need anything from us other than just giving us an update? You don't need a vote or anything?
No. Like I said, we've reached out and we got a bunch more information that we want to gather. And I'm more than happy to try and set up a time that we can present it to a larger group. And I would just ask you guys to think about, do you want that to do that during a selectmen's meeting, or do you want to just, set up a public meeting, or, I don't know, whatever you think is appropriate is fine with me.
All right, well, we'll figure that out. I mean, maybe a public meeting. I mean, it's one and the same thing, so it's we'll figure it out. But I think if Jonathan wants to see it and get a demo, we can do that.
Yeah, it's pretty. They do it in a Zoom meeting. It's pretty easy, pretty
Okay, great.
straightforward.
All right, thanks.
Yeah, that'd be
Okay,
good.
thank you, Doug. Looks good.
Thank you.
Thank you, Doug. Don Lowe, it's time for your report.
The highlight of the select board meeting.
Hope I can live up to that. So first, the COVID update. As you know, the restrictions were lifted June 1st and on May 29th, actually, we reopened June 1st. So our last selectmen's meeting was June 3rd, so we'd only been open a couple of days. So we've been open 2.5 weeks now, and it's really nice to have the public back in the building. It's nice to, hear the sounds of people coming and going. I think everything has gone very well. Generally speaking, the people are happy to be in here. We're happy to see them. And things are running very smoothly. What didn't run so smoothly for like a day and a half was when at 12:01 a.m. on Tuesday, the 15th, the emergency order expired without new legislation replacing it. But the governor signed new legislation around noontime on June 16th, yesterday. So all the rules as far as being able to conduct public meetings we're back to where we were, with it being extended further out than I thought it would be, and good for the legislature and the governor, taking it out to April of 22. I think that allows for, if there's another uptick in the fall, and we all hope there won't be, but if there is an uptick in late fall, early winter, we still got these rules in place. Restaurants had all of their exceptions extended out as well to, I believe it was April. It's at least December. So it was really nice to get that back in place. As far as the town update goes, and these numbers are the most recent ones that I have. The percentage of fully vaccinated people in Bolton from those eligible is 68.9%. And the percentage of people who have received at least one dose is 79.2. So we're about to crack 80% of people who have had at least one dose, so for all intents and purposes, as I said before, Bolton is headed to herd immunity. When we mix with other herds, we don't know what we're getting into, but this herd is in a good place.
That's great news, Tom.
So very, very exciting with that. And also under my report tonight, as we had discussed at the last meeting, we were going to talk about trying to establish my FY22 goals tonight. What I put together went out in the packet with the selectmen, to the selectmen. I haven't received any input on that, so I don't know if any of you have any comments or questions or things you would like to add, but that's what this part of the agenda is for.
Looked like a good list to me. I just wanted to add, you were going to work on the website, and I just wondered if you could invite the larger community to submit photographs of the town.
Sure.
And I know there are a lot of great photographers out there, and everybody has a camera now on their phone. It would be great to get kind of more variety of pictures on our website.
That would be very welcome.
We'll work on that.
Yeah, I that's the one that caught my attention the most too. I'd like to just see it. Things arranged so that if you don't know how the town works, you can still find information. So, you wouldn't necessarily think the budget is under the selectmen's page, stuff like that. So just make it a little more intuitive as opposed to hierarchical.
I think we could probably put the budget in a couple of places. Certainly advisories page. We've got a town moderators page with town meetings, so we can have a link to that. So we can put it in more than one location.
You just got to put the links in. You
Right.
only have to store the document in one place. So
Right.
That's good.
Right. So no, okay.
But the website has gotten better over the years, and the search function is good. But it'd be nice to keep working on that.
I think the other thing that even I get confused on are the multiple calendars. if that could be simplified, that would be good.
I'm not sure what you mean by multiple calendar. I mean, I understand the words, there's more than one calendar, but can you give me an example?
Well, I think there's a calendar at the bottom of the homepage, but it doesn't necessarily line up with the calendar on the selectmen's page.
Okay,
I mean,
Okay,
they're
we-
literally two separate calendars.
okay, we'll take a look at that.
Yeah.
We'll figure out a way to streamline that.
Yeah, and I would also say we need a little bit better way for document searching. It is not necessarily clear how to do that. You know, it's not intuitive is what it is. So I think we need a little better way to do that. But other than that, it looks good.
All right, that's good to know.
That's-
We're so
that's gonna
close to it that sometimes we don't see some of these things,
Yeah.
so it's good to know.
Oh, and you know, I think I brought this up a couple of weeks ago, but when we talked about other groups using the website, I would like to see that expanded. I realize it's a difficult challenge, but right now it's just limited to committees and departments. I'd like to figure out, other towns have somehow managed to include some of their local volunteer groups. And if we could figure out how to do that safely, that would be a plus also.
Yeah, that is one of my top priorities, but you said the key word, we need to do it safely, but
Yeah.
it's absolutely
Okay.
one of my top priorities to try to do that.
Yeah, it would be nice if the calendar showed, I don't know, I mean, I know they're all of our meetings, the town meetings, but then they're there's the social and cultural aspect of the town and civic events that some of them make it onto the calendar, but if there's some way to kind of publicize or show those events that might get lost.
I'm sure we'll go through several iterations of it, and as we go through FY22, I'll be giving periodic updates and asking for feedback on them, I'm sure.
Okay.
Well, it's great you identified that because obviously that's a big issue.
It is.
Yeah.
So,
Any other comments on goals?
No,
Oh,
I'll move
good.
that we accept the recommendations of the town administrator for their fiscal year 22 goals.
I'll second that.
All those in favor say aye.
All right.
Aye.
great, thank you.
Roll call, Sikansky,
Aye.
Keep,
Aye.
Waisaki.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's all I have for this evening, unless there's any questions. And when we segue, I also have a public service announcement. So it just depends on how we flow into that.
Okay, well, let's move on to public service announcements. Don, do you want to start?
All right,
Start the
thank
flow,
you.
Don.
I'm sorry.
Start the flow.
Start the flow. We received a notice this week from the Central Mass Mosquito Control Project. So I'd just like to get this out there. Central Massachusetts Mosquito Control Project personnel will be in your community to respond to residents' concerns about mosquitoes in their area on the following dates in June and July: June 28th, July 6th, July 12th, July 19th, July 26th. Any of the above dates are tentative, and all dates are subject to change due to weather conditions, mosquito populations, mosquito virus activity, and/or special event spraying. This program will shut down when cool night temperatures become predominant in the area. A detailed notice about our spray schedule is posted on the website, et cetera, 3:30 p.m. Every afternoon. This notice will be up on the Board of Health website, but since we just received this week, I thought I should share it as a PSA tonight.
Thank you, Don.
And this is specifically to respond to residents' requests to come out. This is not town-wide spraying.
So that was July 6th and July, what was the second date in July?
12th,
12th. And the
6th,
26th.
12th, 19th, and 26th in July.
Okay, thank you, Don.
Thank you.
Gentlemen, any announcements?
Yeah, I've got two. One is bottles and cans for the Boy Scouts. Please, there's a small red barn at the crest of the hill when you come into the transfer station. Lots of people empty out their bottles and cans with deposit bottles and cans at the recycle bins, but please separate them out and send them to the Boy Scouts. That's their major source of funding. The other one is you need to use your stickers when you are throwing trash out. Unfortunately, what's happening is there are an increasing number of residents who are not doing that. And when the gentleman who worked for the DPW mentioned that to the public, citizens are getting rather belligerent with the DPW. The gentlemen at the DPW transfer station are just doing their job. There is no need to become belligerent with the staff members. That will not be tolerated. If you are throwing out garbage without a sticker, your license plate will be recorded and you will be fined. So please, it is a extremely cost-effective method to get rid of your garbage. I witnessed something last week where a gentleman threw his garbage into the bin, didn't have a sticker, and when he was approached and asked, he basically said he didn't need to because he was an elder statesman of the town and didn't feel he needed to use a sticker. There was a bit of a confrontation, and lo and behold, he had a whole stack of those stickers in his glove box. So, in the glove box doesn't do any good. Put it on the bag and please throw it out. So we hope to get 100% cooperation and usage of the stickers at the transfer station. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Because we will be watching.
I just have a quick one. So inspired by our first two items on our agenda, if anybody wants to preserve open space that they own, put a development restriction on their land, please contact the Bolton Conservation Trust or the Bolton Conservation Commission. Good. We have next under select board business consideration and vote to designate town administrator Don Lowe to file a petition to change the name of the Board of Selectmen to the Select Board as voted by the town in Article 10 at annual town meeting.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Roll call, Sikansky,
Aye.
Keep,
Aye.
Waisaki.
Aye.
Thank you.
Next, we have reappointments to boards and committees. I'm going to read through. So reappointing Kevin O'Brien to the Affordable Housing Partnership Trust, Agricultural Commission, Gentry Farrell, Agricultural Commission, Angie Tollefson, Assistant Animal Control Officer, Pam Johnson, Animal Control Office, Phyllis Tower, Appeals Board of Appeals, Gerarda Hearn, Audit Advisory Committee for Neshoba Regional School District, Dave Yezaway, Mike Savageau, Building Official, Lorraine Stephenson for the Conservation Commission, Penny Gherkin for Council on Aging, Chuck McCormick, Council on Aging, Jeffrey Legendre, Emergency Management Co-Director, Warren Nelson, Emergency Management Co-Directors, Jeffrey Legendre, Fire Chief and Forest Warden, Alice Coggeshall, Historic Commission, Robert Tattersall, Historic Commission, Peter Casello, Inspector Assistant for Wiring, James Boudry, Inspector Wiring, Kristen Noel, Insurance Advisory Committee, Nanachka Rogers, Insurance Advisory Committee, Kenneth Troop, MART Advisory Board, Mary Chumo, Public Way Safety Committee, Holly Lauer, Public Way Safety Committee, Leslie Breeze, Registrar, Board of Registrar, Mark Case, Tree Warden, James Cabral, Veterans Agent.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
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 Roll call, Sikansky,
Aye.
Keep,
Aye.
Waisaki.
Aye.
Thank you.
Next, we have a vote on transfer station stickers for seniors for FY '22. What is this discount? How much is it, Don or Jenny?
It's
It's one-
$100 worth. So they can get them
Oh.
in orange or green stickers. So
Or any
Um,
combination thereof.
yes,
$100 of free stickers. That's great. We have
Kind
a
of
motion.
dovetails into my earlier conversation. So
So
Oh,
moved.
so that,
second.
all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any against?
roll call, Sikansky,
Aye.
Keep,
Aye.
and Waisaki.
Aye.
And I've got those senior transfer station stickers at Town Hall beginning July 1st for people that want to come in and collect their fiscal year 22 allotments. And
Great.
there's still time to get your fiscal year 21 if you haven't picked them up yet.
And town hall is open.
Town hall is open.
Parking lot was full this afternoon.
It was
Yes, it
really
was. It
full.
was- They were having a
was.
party up there.
Yeah. Yeah. It
Now we,
looked like
now we know
needed-
what Don and his staff does every day. It's a party.
We have a vote to accept grant money allocated to the town of Bolton from the coronavirus local fiscal recovery fund under selectmen's business.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
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 Roll call, Sikansky,
Aye.
Keep,
Aye.
Waisaki.
Aye.
Thank you.
And next, approve bills and payroll warrants W21-22 and W21-26A.
That was
21-26.
W21-26 and W21-26A.
As corrected.
So I'll move what Stan said.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
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 Roll call, Sikansky,
Aye.
Keep,
Aye.
Waisaki.
Aye.
Thank you.
And the last item, do we have any minutes, Jenny?
We do. They are the regular session minutes from June 3rd. There were some changes, so I'll share them on the screen. Couple small changes. I'll pause here. Do you want me to read the changes or do you just want to review them?
No,
Looking at him is okay.
Yep.
They look good.
And I think that was it. Yep, that was it.
So I move we approve the minutes of June 3rd, 2021.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
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 Roll call, Sikansky,
Aye.
Keep,
Aye.
and Waisaki.
Aye.
Thank you.
Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
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 Roll call, Sikansky,
Aye.
Keep,
Aye.
and Waisaki.
Aye.
The time is 7:45 for the record. Just a reminder, there will be some signing that I'll have ready for you guys. I'll get it ready before I leave tonight in case you wanted to come in the wee hours of the morning. Otherwise, it'll be here tomorrow.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jenny.
Thank you,
Thank you, Don.
Good night.
Thank you, everyone. Good night.
Good night.
One more hour of sunlight. Get out.